Let's talk to Nigel Huddleston MP, co-chairman of the Conservative Party. Nigel, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
It's not really a celebration, is it? It's a sort of commemoration or something, or a marking. It's Independence Day in America, where they've got a really, really good leader doing lots of great things for America. We've got Keir Starmer, I'm afraid, and after 12 months of it, most people are sick to death of it, and they'd quite like it to be ended.
You're completely right, and that's definitely the message I'm getting in my constituency and across the country. I mean, a year ago, the public wanted change. That was the message from Labour, and that's what people believe they voted for. Well, they did, but they changed for higher unemployment, higher inflation, more debt, higher boat crossings, as you've just mentioned as well. You know, so these are all things that show that this government is shambolic. They came in promising lots of things, but they didn't have a plan to deliver. And that's why we've seen this U-turn after U-turn after U-turn. They made announcements. They said, oh, look at all these lovely, shiny policies we've got. But they didn't have a clue how to implement them. They're completely and utterly incompetent. And the public are rightly angry about that.
Well, we saw it this week, didn't we? I mean, a very bizarre kind of appearance by Rachel Reeves in the House of Commons chamber on Wednesday for Prime Minister's questions, where she looked for all the world like a woman sort of at the end of her tether. You know, enough time has gone by now where I think we can not be squeamish about talking about it. She says it's a personal issue which she doesn't want to discuss. Fair enough. But yesterday, apparently, it was fine. There was no personal issue, and she was happy as Larry launching the NHS Doctor in Your Pocket app.
Yeah, look, and nobody likes to see a colleague in distress. And actually, I was in the chamber of the House of Commons, and on a human level, you really feel for Rachel Reeves there. In fact, you feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you start feeling sorry for a politician, quite frankly, they're toast, because that's not a position you want your political leaders to be in. And also, though, it speaks volumes about the lack of professionalism. I mean, not a single colleague of hers seemed to give her a hug or want to kind of engage with her. The whips should not have allowed her to be in the chamber of the House. Her special advisors should have said, hey, look, you're not in a good state, don't come in. You know, you don't go into the House of Commons in that kind of state. So no matter what the reason was, it all fell apart again. And that's why it signals this utter incompetence. And quite frankly, my opinion doesn't matter, but the markets reacted.
Yeah.
That matter. That's going to hit people in their pockets. That's increasing debt interest. Those are things that matter, because it just sends this continuous signal of utter incompetence and chaos. Well,
that is the fear, isn't it? The fiscal crisis is looming in this country. There's a piece on the front page of the Telegraph today from investors groups, including Legal and General, who are basically saying they can no longer trust Labour on finance. They said they made so many U-turns that the markets can't trust that what's been put forward will actually be put into place, and we will see more adverse reactions in the markets over the coming weeks and months. And that worries an awful lot of people, because it's going to affect people's mortgages, it's going to affect the price of food, the price of everything in this country. I mean, I know you guys have done a study saying that ordinary families are £1,700 worse off now over the course of a year since Labour have got in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and by the way, that's a conservative estimate. The average family is about £1,700 worse off as a result of Labour's policies. And it looks like it will get even worse, because one thing we all know now for certain is that there will be tax rises coming in the autumn budget. That's probably the reason why Rachel Reeves is still in place, because who on earth would want to be Chancellor knowing that you've got that to deliver later on in the year? Yeah. But this is a direct result of consequences and decisions they've already made. There's already a black hole now because of these U-turns. There's a black hole because of welfare. There's a black hole because of the changes in winter fuel. So we know that there's billions and billions of pounds that need to be raised. Well, where's that going to come from? You and I all know, you know, pockets of normal working people across this country. And yet, at this moment in time, there's no announcement about where that money would come from. So that causes the markets to be jittery. Yeah. And we all know that that is not a good position for any government to be in.
It really isn't. Nigel, great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. We're a bit short of time this morning. Nigel Huddleston MP, co-chairman of the Conservative Party there.